Welcome to the O Show, your number one podcast for everything training, mindset, and nutrition. I am your host, Oren McCarry, and it is my goal to help you access the best information around to allow you to kick ass in the gym, in the kitchen, and most importantly, in your head. Between my own experiences and those of my amazing guests, I'm confident we will do that. So let's strap in and level up your life starting right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to today's episode of The O Show. I am your host, Oren McCarry, and I am here, as always, with a killer episode. The feedback we've been getting lately has been huge. And when I put out probably about 6 weeks ago that I needed more female guests and I needed females who were absolutely kick-ass and empowering and just everything to the female audience, this name came up at least twice, maybe 3 times, and there wasn't even that many suggestions who came in. So the fact that she was suggested multiple times shows that she is in demand. So today we have on Jessica Viera from over on the East Coast of Australia. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad I got mentioned twice.
Yeah. And you actually got mentioned. I was thinking, right, female guest, like, let's see what the females want to listen to. Yeah. And obviously there was 1 or 2 females, but one of the guys, Bruno Pereira in Sydney, said, oh yeah, Jess, get her on. And I was like, okay, perfect. So you got both the guys and the girls rooting to get you on here. So
love it. Well, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. It's great to connect and great to get you on here, because we spoke a lot on Instagram, and obviously it's different when you can speak to somebody face to face. And if you're watching on the video, guys, I don't know when the video will be up, but she got that nice little background that you'll see on Instagram and her different videos and everything. This is like behind you is where the magic happens, right?
It's the vibe. Well, I had every intentions of setting up a YouTube studio, and then I realized the light shines in here horribly.
Okay, yeah.
But this is the vibe. This is the rising woman vibe.
Oh, this is killer. I like it. It's very cool. So anyone who's listening to the podcast, Jess behind her has got a wall of like different pinks and whites in like a flower arrangements. Yeah. So it's very, very cool.
Thank you.
Awesome, Jess. So if anyone doesn't know who you are, give a little bit of a shout out, because I know people who've worked with you before and they've got tremendous value out of your coaching, but some people may not know who you are or might not follow you. So this is a chance to plug and give the sort of synopsis of who is Jessica Viera.
Awesome. Yeah. So my name is Jessica Viera. I am a business mentor for coaches, all types of coaches, predominantly the fitness coaches, because that literally is my bread and butter. I used to have a fitness business myself. And yeah, I guess I was a podcaster at one point that unfortunately came to an end a year ago. Also, I have my own women's mental health movement that I started in 2019, and that was events and podcasting. So that's come to a pause. But yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell and what my title is at the moment.
Nice. And then you mentioned that you've had a fitness industry-based business. Like what was that, and what did you do for a bit of reference?
Yeah, so I'm formerly a nurse. So I was a nurse for 7 years, left my nursing career to kind of chase a career in the fitness industry. When I first started with the online fitness business, I really just dabbled in it. Like I had no clue what I was doing. Yeah. When I think about it now, it's actually quite funny. Like, oh my God. But yeah, and then I worked in like so many different fitness businesses, opening gyms and supplement distribution companies and all the things. And then I decided to go all in on my fitness business a few years ago. Really worked tirelessly on the side, trying to figure it all out. I ended up building my fitness business to multiple 6 figures. And then when COVID hit Australia, I had 2 decisions, whether to keep my fitness business or recreate myself. So I actually let go of my fitness business when the first, I won't say the last restrictions, but the first restrictions ended in Australia. And that's when I let go of it, which was, I think, September last year. Yeah.
Okay. So it's been like a year going full in on this, like what you're doing now, essentially, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And how did you find that transition of giving up something that you were so used to doing? It was like, like you said, the words bread and butter, that's what you're so used to then go all in on what obviously you're clearly very passionate about now, but it's that bit of a leap, and that might be the same sort of leap that people who maybe have a job in the PT or the online coaching as a sort of side business, they might be experiencing that same thing, but it's with leaving the corporate world or leaving the part-time job somewhere. So how did you manage that mentally?
Yeah, it's so weird, you know, that you say it. Like when I left nursing to go into the fitness industry, like there was so much fear in leaving like a career. It was almost like leaving an identity when I left nursing. And like we never got in university, we never got taught business or like anything like how to be a business owner. So when I left nursing, like that was huge. Like that was scary, but I just knew in my heart that it was definitely something that I had to let go of. Like I just wasn't fulfilled. Like I don't know if you've ever been in a hospital or around nurses, but they're the most miserable people. Like they're so unhappy. And I decided to leave and go to try something else. But when I left my fitness business, well, actually I didn't leave it because I was working on both businesses at the same time. So I held on to the fitness business whilst I built this business now. But I can't explain it. It's so weird. Like I'm so intuitive. So I just knew that I had to do something different. Like I distinctly remember, you know, COVID hitting Australia and all of the things. And I literally had to sit there with myself and say, like, is this who I want to be? And it's so weird because not a lot of people will ask themselves that questions. And I had so many people, like well-known people in the fitness industry, say like, Jess, you're not supposed to be a fitness coach, for so long. They're like, you're not, you know so much about marketing, building a business and all of the things, like you're not. But I didn't really listen to them because I guess I didn't want to let go of a business, which is the hardest thing to do, is like, do I let go of this business? Do I pursue something different? So when COVID hit, I was like, everyone was asking me, how do I build an online business? Like everyone. And I was like, is this a sign? Like, is it? So I held a creative webinar and I had over 100 people register just for a creative webinar. So I took it as signs in terms of like, maybe you could do this, like maybe you could. And I suddenly, like, as soon as I made that switch of like, do I want to be fitness forever? Like I've been in the fitness industry for 11 years now. I competed years ago. I did all the things. And I literally just asked myself, like, is this who I want to be for the rest of my life? Is this what really like lights me up? And when I asked myself that question, I was like, well, I love it, but it's not me forever.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided that I was going to be a business mentor and coach coaches, because the demand was there and people were asking me, and it kind of made no sense to kind of help people build businesses when I had invested into myself to build my own business.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of like the signs.
Yeah, everything aligned and was just like, right, this is the time to do it if you're going to do it.
Yeah, I thought, well, you know what? You got nothing to lose right now. The whole world's going through all of the craziness. I'm like, I may as well just add to the chaos and give it a go.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And you said something, you said there was that you loved your fitness business, like it was a big part of you. But obviously it wasn't what you wanted to do forever. So if somebody maybe is in that position where maybe they love a nursing career or they love teaching or corporate world, and they have a decent job and a decent salary and everything, but they maybe love this more, or they just can't see themselves doing that job forever, what would be the one piece of advice, or what's the one thing that you learned from jumping ship from either nursing to that or fitness into the new business mentoring? Like, what was the one thing that you would recommend to people who are about to make a switch like that?
I think when you're asking yourself, like, if you're happy or if you don't feel like aligned in the job that you're in, like, it's okay to feel that way. It's totally okay. People change careers all the time. Like, just because you decided 10 years ago that you were going to be a nurse, it doesn't mean that you need to be a nurse 10 years later. And it's a career that you could always go back to. You know, in most careers, you can always go back to it. And like, you know, I distinctly remember one nurse literally saying to me, oh, you know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work out anyways, you can always come back. And I remember standing there thinking, I'm not coming back. Like, when I walk out of here, like, I'm not coming back. And, you know, she was right. She had left and she came back to her nursing career. So I was like, you know, worst case scenario, I can come back to this career if it doesn't work out. But at the end of the day, I believe that there is so many pathways of opportunities in life. And if you really do feel like you are not in alignment or you're not happy in the job that you're in, the first thing is to just explore and find the pathways of opportunities and find out if you want to do marketing, what does it look like? How do you get a job there? Like, how do you build that career? And then just go for it. And worst case scenario, you go back to your career. But I don't believe that anyone would be without a job. If you have a career, you can always go back to it if that's the case. I think it took me around two and a half years for me to actually say, like, I will never go back.
Okay, yeah.
So I think it's a transition, but at the end of the day, I think if you're not happy, then why are you in the job that you're in? Like, to me, happiness is everything. If I'm not happy in the job, like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And one thing as well I wanted to ask you from that last bit was, you said how in nursing you don't get taught any business skills, yet by the time you'd finished your fitness coaching thing, you had all those skills. So where did you learn them, or sort of how did you come to be the person that people come to and say, Jess, you know a lot about business, teach me it?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I didn't get taught it at all. So I think I always had a passion for it. Like when F45 first launched in Australia, I wanted to open up an F45. I'm an idiot for listening to everyone that told me that it was going to be a bad business plan. And that was like in 2015, before I left my career. That was the first time I was like, I want to know about business. Like, I don't know what business looks like. I don't know how to be a business owner, but I want to know how to make more money and how to work for myself. So that was like the first kind of like feelers. Then when I left my nursing career, I managed like an ASN supplement store. That was good. I learned a lot about management, but I grew quite bored with it very fast. Then I went on to work in supplement distribution company. So I ended up selling like big orders all around New South Wales, worked at the fitness expos, did all the things. That was enjoyable, but it was good. It was just very masculine in dealing with a lot of men in the fitness industry. And then UFC Australia actually poached me to open up one of their gyms in Sydney as fitness manager and as the general manager. So I ended up opening up that gym. I coached all the coaches that were in it. I did all of the things. And then I just honestly, like, I just felt like I was just being underpaid. Like, this was like a $15,000 pay cut from like nursing. At the time, I had been investing into like business mentors, a lot of bad investments, trying to get this online business happening. So like I was plugging into mentorships and like learning from heaps of people. I was very fortunate enough to learn a lot of like business strategy and acumen from the director of fitness that was at UFC. So that was really where I learned a lot about business. And then basically, like, once I decided to work for myself and just do my fitness business, I just kept investing into mentors. And you'd be surprised, like, you know, I'd never learned anything from like managers or anything, you know, compared to the extent that I've learned from actually investing into business mentors.
Awesome. And that's something obviously you still do to this date, right?
Still do. Still do. Absolutely.
That's awesome. And I think it was maybe last week or the week before you done the post about your car and how you still drive the same car as you did like when you were making it. And even though like the profits have gone up and the income has gone up massively in the past year, you're still driving the same car because you're investing your money into mentors and learning, because you'd rather put money into people or education rather than something material.
Yeah. I think that's me. Like, I grew up in Western Sydney. I don't come from wealth or money. So for me, I know I can live without that stuff. Like, I don't need it. I don't feel like I need it to prove that I have money at all. And yeah, to be honest, I would rather drive my lemon until it dies than invest $90,000 into a car that it may look good when I rock up at the gym, but it's not really an asset for me at all. Awesome.
And how many different maybe mentors and different things have you got going on at any one time? Like, do you rinse one out, then change, or do you have multiple things you're trying to learn at the same time, or what way do you personally approach your education?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I do believe in like having one at least private mentor that is like your mentor that you stay with long term. So my first mentor I stayed with for 6 months. The next one I stayed with for a year. This one that I'm with now is for a year. Because the thing is you can learn from a lot of people, but it is really healthy for your own personal growth to stay with at least one like private mentor. But then I plug myself into so many different other mentorships. Like right now I'm in 4.
Okay.
So but they're all on different specific topics in business. So for example, like I learn a lot about paid advertising, funnels, all of the tech stuff and all of the fancy stuff. One of my mentors is very woo-woo, very mindset, very spiritual, very feminine, masculine energy. A lifestyle coach I learn from, because as much as like I'm a business strategist, I also believe that there's so much else that can come into business rather than just like one way.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So I'm always learning. I think, for me, it's like, I think if you're going to be a leading business mentor, you have to really walk the talk and like do the development, not just plug yourself into it once and say, I've done 12 weeks and that's it. I'm going to teach you how to make money. Like it's when people are investing into you, you actually have like a duty to keep investing into yourself. Like one of the biggest things for me is like, I can like, it wouldn't be ethical of me to teach people how to make money and build financial success and freedom if I wasn't actually investing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like hypocritical. It's like coaches who don't have a coach. And in the fitness industry, like I know we spoke last week and I asked you, who coached you for your comp when you've done a throwback? And you said, it was Logan and whatever. And I think everyone has to have invested in a coach, even if it's not all the time, but even in the fitness industry here, if you haven't experienced what it's like to be coached, you're a bit hypocritical trying to coach other people and get other people to pay for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. And, that's the thing about being a coach, right? Where the number one people that should be investing into self-development, like it should be a part of just what we do, especially when you're leading people and you're coaching people in their life. Like it's not just giving instructions of how to do X, Y, and Z. You're actually like life coaching them. You're like the counselor majority of the time. So, I think it is good to be plugged into having a coach at all times.
Yeah, 100%. And what would you say to people who maybe said that, learning marketing and business and all these different strategies and things we can implement is a waste of time because all you need to do is get a client a result, right? Because you've been in the fitness industry, you coach a lot of people in the fitness industry. But some people think, marketing and business, you don't need to learn that until you can get client results, and then it'll be word of mouth that just gets you where you want to go. What would you say to somebody who has that approach?
Look, to be honest, like you don't have to wait until you get clients' results to keep growing a business. Like at the end of the day, like a lot of this comes down to self-belief. Like when I started this business, for example, even my fitness business, like I didn't have any results to sell, but people invest into me as a person. I think knowledge is everything. Like you do, like we just before how we were just saying about investing into yourself, doing the courses, doing the things so you can actually educate and lead. But you do need to learn like business strategy to build a successful business. Like just getting one testimonial isn't going to be the thing that's going to grow you. Like understanding how to become a business owner is definitely going to give you leverage in your business to keep growing. It's one thing to just post a few testimonials and say, this is what I've achieved. But at the end of the day, you really do need to know how to be a business owner.
Yeah, 100%. And I think some people think that marketing is just like sleazy sales tactics from like the old way marketing used to be done with like the Wolf of Wall Street and all that sort of pushy marketing. But like you say, you can become a better business owner by learning how to do things quicker, better, more efficient, a better experience for your clients. That's what you can learn from a business mentor as well. Because if you've got, less time to do the same amount of tasks, then you can do other tasks like keep on top of your clients with their plans and everything else without worrying about doing everything. So I think the way I always put it is that, if trainer A focuses solely on results, but trainer B can also get results, but they know how to market, who's going to be busier and who's going to have the healthier business? The person who doesn't know how to market or the person who does, but they can both guarantee results. So, it's interesting having that experience because since you're in the fitness industry and now business mentor, and I thought I'd pick your brain on that one. So let's talk about your packages and sort of how you coach, because I know you've got quite a big group-based program, and obviously lots of one-to-one contact, but I don't know the ins and outs of it and who you like to work with and sort of how you go about things. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. So I kept my business crazy simple, like so simple, and people would like don't believe me. But I only had like private coaching, which became maxed out, and then a group program. And I have coaches that help me run that group program. That's my baby. Like Online Freedom Builders is like literally my baby. That's where pretty much everyone is in. And it's pretty much like the premises of how I built everything. So Online Freedom Builders is the main program, and now private mentoring I don't do as much. Mainly for private mentoring, this is for like coaches that are making anywhere from like 20 to 100K months, and want to scale with like a team and want all the things and all of the extra support and want that next step leadership. I don't do that as much. Like I have only like 6 clients in that, because really like my role is like running the entire business and marketing now. So I literally just turned my private mentorship into like an elite mastermind. So I just turned it into a huge like program as such, which is already like selling out, which is awesome. So there's only really 3 ways to work with me.
Awesome.
And that's it. But we're very team driven. So yeah, I have coaches that help me lead everything and help me coach.
Okay, awesome. And then what type of person is normally attracted to the Freedom Builders group? Like, do you have certain people who you just buzz to work with, or is it like who maybe reaches out and says, you know, I love your content? Like who gets drawn to Jess?
It's mainly fitness coaches, fitness mindset. I get service providers like social media managers and coaches. I get a few copywriters or like sales consultants and stuff, but mainly like fitness, health, wellness, nutrition. They're all my vibe. Like everyone just knows, like they just know that I'm fitness. It's a lot of word of mouth as well. So Online Freedom Builders is for like the beginner coach that either doesn't have a business, like fresh out of TAFE. I can't tell you how many girls have come to me, like just literally haven't even finished their certificates and ready to like be coached.
Wow. Nice.
It's insane. And then basically it's building the foundations of business, like Online Freedom Builders, learning business acumen, learning about finances, money, how to make money, how to like improve your financial status, and then also just building out the programs and all of the things, learning sales, marketing, all of the jam. So really we've set the standard of most of our coaches hit their first 10K month within that program.
Nice.
And it's been done time and time again. And then from there, it's going up into the next program from there.
Nice. And then that's just like you say, a little bit once they've scaled and they want to go even more, they get that personal touch to really skyrocket it, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. And then if anyone is kind of interested in the coaching, how does the group run? Like, what's the sort of like rough format? Is it group calls? Is it all just where you post in and it's a Q&As in the group like sort of format, or how do you personally do it?
That's a good question. So there's a lot of masterminds out there that don't offer like one-on-one support. Like I really do pride myself for offering that. And that's why I have coaches that help lead with me. So everyone does get private calls plus a group call with me every week. So that group call goes for like 2 hours. It's so long. So they've got that plus the private one-on-ones. For me, it's not really about like the profit. I could have like a business mentoring business with huge profit margins, but at the end of the day, like I pride myself on giving that one-on-one support. And as long as my clients are like supported and they have that support, that's all that matters for me. Because for me, I know that gets results. So they all have individualized private coaching alongside the like being in the group. Plus we've got a community, which is like a family pretty much.
Nice. That's killer. That's killer. And I imagine that the coaches who have came on board to help you run the group are people who've been through the program, so they know exactly what you would do in certain scenarios, right?
Yeah, they are. They're all clients. They're all
awesome.
clients of mine, and they're still with me to this day. I love them.
Awesome. That's killer. That's killer. So yeah, I wanted to change pace a little bit because obviously it came to the end of the tax year and you posted about the growth from your business. And now, guys, when we're talking about this isn't to trigger anyone, it's just to show what is possible, right? So Jess, throw us out the raw, I don't know if you know the exact figures in your head, but throw us out the rough numbers of how much you grew. And then hopefully everyone who's on here will be hugely motivated and ready to move their business forward after hearing this growth in a year.
Okay, all right. What do you want to know first?
So yes, let's start with the number, because the previous number was pretty impressive still, right? So what was that, the prior number?
The prior number, so, well, in 6 months, I made 500,000 in this.
Okay.
And that was in 6 months. As of this week, I have turned over $1 million in 15 months.
Wow.
Like, 50,000 over. In 15 months. BAS, so GST is insane. If you want
I
to
can
know
imagine.
about that. So I pay around anywhere from 25 to 30,000 a quarter in GST.
Yeah.
And then taxes, I haven't gotten that back yet for the next year, but essentially and this is I'm not an accountant, I'm not going to give you advice or anything, but I have invested a lot of money back into my company, like a lot. I've spent like almost 300,000 now into mentors.
Yeah.
And that's what's enabled the growth so fast. Profit margins are good. But I pay myself a really, really good wage, amazing wage. I am quite comfortable. The expected tax is quite low. I think I got an expected tax for 30,000, and that's purely because I kept investing into my business.
Yeah.
Whereas you can go the opposite way in business and be a money hoarder and not spend. But at the same time, it's like, well, you can either choose not to spend or you can give that money to the government next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, I just kept spending. Like I kept spending and investing into having a team, replacing myself, hiring assistants. I got my sister. My sister works with me full time. She's my head coach. She's also like my all-rounder. I have staff. I have a media team. Like I have everything. And I just kept investing to keep growing.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. I actually didn't know that million. No, I don't know if you ever posted that yet, or
I just posted it before I got on the call.
Oh, really? Okay, so that's why I haven't seen. I was talking about the 500,000 number, and then you just threw out this million, and I was like, oh God, like that's double what I was talking about.
Sorry. Yeah, I literally just posted it before I got on.
Oh wow, that's why I haven't seen it there. Right, killer. That's even more impressive. That's like you just threw that one out there. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Killer. So when you set out to do this, did you ever think that was possible? Did you have that, did you have any sort of limits in your mind, or did you always have this sort of growth mindset that no, it's possible if I just keep doing the right things?
When I first started, I'm a very money driven person, but my perception of money has changed a lot since I first started. As crazy as this is, I used to watch girls doing this in the States. I used to watch them every day. I'd be up at 3 a.m. watching their Instagram stories, obsessed. I was like, these women are so courageous. They are so brave. How are they doing what they're doing? And I was plugged into just watching every day. I'm like, I wish I had the courage to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And for so long, I had these obsessions, and, some of those people are my coaches now, which is insane.
Yeah.
And when I first started, I was actually hired by a USA coach, business mentor, and he hired me to work as a coach for him. And then he actually turned around to me and said, you're too qualified for this. I don't know why you don't just do this yourself. And that's when I first started. And he actually mentored me to just get everything going. And, my first launch was 20,000. And I was like, fuck. People actually people actually fucking believe that, believe in me for your first time pivoting. It's the most scariest thing when your identity is fitness for so long. It's the scariest thing ever. So when that first happened, I was like, okay, shit, this is happening. Within 2 months, I was at 50K months, and I was like, holy fuck, shit. And then at that time, like I kind of felt like I needed to prove myself. There was a lot of people in the fitness industry that didn't believe in me. Like a lot of people that said bad things about me, a lot of people that unfollowed me, a lot of people that had their opinion of who is she to do what she's doing and all of the things. But you know, I was like, I felt like I had like a status to prove. So for a long time, like I was chasing that million. I'm like, I need to make $1 million in a year. It wasn't until like the start of this year where I just stopped looking at my money. I stopped looking at it. I stopped being obsessed with it. I was like, you know, what do I need $1 million for? Like, I'm fucking happy. Like, I'm actually so happy. I'm content. I have an amazing business. Like, I've proved myself. I don't need to have $1 million to prove myself. And as crazy as it is, like, I haven't even looked at my numbers for like months now. And it wasn't until, you know, yesterday on Monday, my client, who's also my best friend, was like, where are you sitting? Like, what's your numbers? I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, oh, she's like, can you just pull it up? Like, can you tell me? And I was like, oh no. And she's like, pull it up. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
I was like, shit. So I believed it would happen, but like I let go of like timelines of when I would achieve it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know, I've coached so many high performance entrepreneurs that are making a lot of money, like in Australia. And the biggest thing that I've seen so many of them struggle with is being attached to like, I have to make $1 million. I need to have 100K months. I need to have it. And I'm like, why do you need to have it? You don't actually need to have it. Like, you'd probably be way happier at 20K months because you're stressed out of your eyeballs.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was no fulfillment, like, or gratefulness or anything. And I was like, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Because like you could have a lot of money and be completely miserable.
Yeah, 100%.
And unfulfilled. So I just completely, I knew what was possible. But I had to let go of expectations. I had to let go of the outcome. I had to let go of the numbers being, I'm very like number driven and I have spreadsheets for everything, but I had to let go of my attachment to the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, like I've had more growth in the last like 4 months than I had since I started, from just doing it, just doing the things.
Perfect. And I think with that money mindset, people sometimes think that it's a bad thing to be obsessed with that. And obviously it's something that we need to know. And it helps to take a step back from it as well. But all that income is, whether you're making 10K, you know, 20K, 100K, whatever that number is, all that means is that you're having more impact with your business. It's not that you need to get to that number, but if you get from 20K to 50K or 100K, it just means you're probably helping 5 times more people with their thing, and you're just being rewarded for your service. That's all it is. So it's not that earning money or thinking about numbers is negative and that we shouldn't do it, but just that we shouldn't obsess with it, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people are just like even for some of my clients that are like trying to get to 10K or 20K, I'm like, why are you in such a race? Like, where are you trying to be? Like, even if you get to that 20K or that 50K, like, are you going to be happy at the end of the day? You know, at the end of the day, like happiness and fulfillment is everything. And, you know, I have been that person last year where I made a lot of money and I made my first 80K month. And I was so unhappy. Like I didn't even appreciate anything. And I was like, there's something wrong here. And it's because I was so focused on the chase, you forget to enjoy the journey. And it's like, if you've got enough money to pay your bills and live a comfortable life, you're fucking good. Like you're good. And I think we just forget about it because we become so money driven and money hungry. As soon as people start to see success, it's like a chase. Like you almost are like, oh, what's next? And it can actually consume you. And being a woman, like it's a lot. It is a lot. So I think like letting go of that chase and the expectation and just trusting, like it'll happen when you're ready. Like not everything is meant to happen for you when you demand it in life. Like it'll happen when it happens. Just chill the fuck out.
And like you said, whenever you chilled out, that's whenever you've had your biggest months and the most growth, when you weren't focused on it.
It's actually true.
And that's as a result again of just knuckling down and doing the work and giving your genius to the crew and putting it out on social media and doing ticking all those boxes. Income just goes up as a result with less stress, which is the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there'll always be stress, but it's all consistent effort as well. I'm not going to tell you that it's been the easiest thing to do. It definitely hasn't been. It's fucking hard work. Like even getting 10K or 20K, it's hard work. Like there's no like magic pill or anything that's going to get you there. Like you actually have to be really consistent and disciplined. And that's the one thing that bodybuilding and nursing taught me is like discipline, being committed to what you want, and just dedicating yourself to something that you believe in and that you believe that you're capable of. Like without discipline, you're not going to get anything in life. And I think for a lot of people lack discipline, and that's why they don't get to where they want to be.
Perfect. So what's next for Jess and the business? Like if it's not a financial goal, obviously there might still be a goal, but what's the next big project or the next big goal or the big mission that Jess and her coaching is gonna go in the next 12 months?
As of yesterday, I've registered my company in America. So
nice.
I am hopefully moving to America in January or February, pending the visa.
Nice.
And my goal for this company is to take it all the way. I want to be a leader in the world. I want it to be big. I want it to be big, and I want to travel and do all the things. I'm starting a second business, so because I'm nuts.
Nice. Because one isn't enough, right?
Because I'm crazy.
So whereabouts in America, where are you gonna hopefully settle?
Well, I am giving myself 2 months break. Myself 2 months break from building. Everything's built, so I'm taking 2 months off, and then I'm hoping to go to like probably Miami, Florida, and that's where I'll be best.
Killer. Yep, good weather. Everything's pretty chill. They're pretty open at the minute as well, so good signs.
Yes, I know.
Awesome. Awesome. So Jess, if people don't follow you or they want to get in touch, what's the best way for them to touch base and find out more about coaching, or just generally follow you and see everything that you're up to?
So just on Instagram, so just Jessica _Viera_. That's it.
Awesome. Killer. And then they can just, like, I presume they've got Linktree and everything there, or can they just DM you basically?
Just DM me. I don't have a website, so if you want to know, literally just DM me and say that you want to know what I've got. Otherwise, there's an application form in my bio.
Awesome. Killer. Well, hopefully everyone goes and follows you. I've written down about 4 timestamps here that I need to go and like clip off to get this, because there's a couple of little nuggets in there. I was like, oh, that's going to make a really sweet little clip. Hopefully people will go and follow you guys. If you do like just clicking a link, just scroll down to the description here. You'll have a link straight to Jess's Instagram. If not, just go and type in her handle, which was Jessica.Viera_. Obviously, if you're coming from Jess's channel and if you enjoyed the podcast, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe, and come to my page. We would love some reviews. And if you guys honestly like this and you're on Apple, hit the 5-star review, because that means that when people like Jess see it, they will come on and they will be like, oh, he's got like loads of 5-star reviews. He must be a good podcast host. So, and they're more likely to come on in future.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. It's been great having you on, me. And I think this is going to go down very well. So I just want to say thank you, and you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, legend.
Thanks for joining me on today's episode of The O Show. If you know somebody who needs to hear this episode today, please share this with them via message or on social media. Don't forget to also take a screenshot and share it on your story and tag me at Oren McCarry, so we can continue to grow the podcast and help more people change their lives with the advice given here. Also, keep the 5-star reviews coming over on iTunes, as that helps people who normally wouldn't listen to the show find it and get the O Show in their ears and drive the podcast forward to help more people around the world with the advice here. Have a great day, and I will speak to you soon.